What's up, friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates? Welcome to this episode of Bets and Buds. We the Buds casting you the bets. I'm your host, Station Smokin Token. This is my sidekick, Bobby Light. How we doing, brother?
How we doing, Jason? We're doing good this week. I am doing fantastic. I hope the audience is doing great as well.
Sorry about that little delay in my speech. We were trying to wave off some of the curse here. Some of the curse we had going from not hitting these parlays these last couple of weeks. It's been rough out there with these parlays. Again, we're just at every man better. Once again, we don't try to bet to like the pros bet. This is against every expert's betting philosophy, but we like to have a little bit of fun, just for entertainment.
It's fun. It makes the games fun.
Yeah, it makes it much more fun to watch it, enjoyment. You go some of those long shots every now and then. I like to do plus 500 odds.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so we're going to have something dialed up for you and hopefully breaking the curse this year. Hopefully breaking the curse, because I've only hit two. I've hit two this whole season. So, Bobby, I know you're at a...
We're not talking about it.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. Our records overall, though, we're both sitting at a pretty good, strong standing, up with what the pros usually bet on a regular, consistent basis for overall whole season. So, once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Shouts out to True on the track for that intro. How you doing today, Bobby? You ready for this week? Because
I am ready for this week. We are actually 1/3 through the regular season, 18-week season, 6 weeks through. I mean, it's been exciting so far. Some teams are disappointing. Some
defensive battles last week.
Yes, there was.
A lot of defensive battles last week.
Yes, there was.
You know what? I was happy with my record overall, though. I went 11-4 against the spread, 11-4 on the money, 8-7 over under. I was happy about that as far as my bounce back over the week.
Yeah, no, that's a solid week. I had my best week of the season overall. I actually was above 500 on everything.
Nice.
So I hit my first over-under to the 66%. I'll take it.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was a solid week.
You know what? So far, so good. You know what? I want to clarify something real quick, too. Every now and then, I've thrown that Uncle Mo reference out there.
Yep.
Just for you people that aren't here from Missouri and in this area, we're trying to push this because on the west side of us, we have Kansas, gambling is legal. On the east side of us, Illinois, gambling is legal.
Yep.
So we're in the state of Missouri here. We're Uncle Mo always last. Uncle Mo always puts us last as far as when we get our seat at the table.
Yeah, I mean, they're just pissing money away at this point.
Exactly. So when I say our cousins on the ill side, that means I have to go to the Illinois side in order to place a bet because we're over here in St. Louis area. Right. People in the Kansas City area have to go over to their cousins on the K side, over the Kansas side over there. You know, so on that end, that's the whole. Just to clarify that for anybody that isn't clear and doesn't understand when I say Uncle Mo and the cousins on the ill side.
Yep.
You know, so let's dive into this week's action here, man. Because this has been an action-packed season. I think it's going to be a great week this week. Great week. We're into the buys a little bit, but this Thursday night game, this is kind of a dicey one for me.
Yeah, you're not going to touch this one this week, huh?
Oh, I'm not going to. I've having my Jason Smokin Token primetime parlays will not be hit on this one. We might leave one for the Sunday night game. There's still some odds that still need to be thrown on the table. I'll leave something out there for the Sunday night game, but not on this Thursday night game. No, not on this Thursday night game. Not at all.
So we've got Jacksonville going into New Orleans this week. Who do you like, Jason?
You know what? I like the Saints. I like the Saints actually on this one from a defensive standpoint. On a Thursday night game, my philosophy is I want to go with the stronger defense because when you have a defense out there, you don't have as much preparation for a Thursday night game. Guys are still beat up. True. So I want to go strong for the stronger defense on that aspect. I don't think it's going to be a lot of points at all. So for me, I like the Saints to cover that 1.5. They're 1.5 point favorites down there in New Orleans. Obviously hit the money line. And then the 39.5 point is what I had the over-under.
Yep.
So I like the 39.5 and then also hit the under on that game.
Under on that one?
Yep.
Okay. Give me Jacksonville in this one.
Okay.
I think Jacksonville goes in there. They're playing real well lately, last couple of games. I think they go in and steal this one from New Orleans. New Orleans looked really disappointing last week.
What do you think about that knee injury with Trevor Lawrence, though?
They had him on the news today, and he says he's progressing well, and he sees no reason not to play Thursday.
That Thursday night game. That's a quick
one.
turnaround.
ETN,
CJ Beathard is their backup, though.
And he came in and went 2 for 2.
Oh, yeah.
But ETN is running like a beast right now.
Yes, he is.
So
he is.
Really, if you just feed the bell cow, I mean, you should be able to go into New Orleans and walk away with a win here.
I don't see why they couldn't. One bit.
I also like the under in that game.
Okay. All right. So we're in agreement on that one here.
In your fantasy player of the week, so last week he got 6 targets, which was the most targets he got since week 1. Rashid Shaheed. He's actually third receiver for New Orleans, but he's getting some work again. He disappeared for like 3 weeks, but
he's a deep play target too.
Yep.
He's a big play. He's a sink or swim guy. So especially when usually they're going to be cheap in the daily fantasy league too.
Yep.
Absolutely. I like that. All right, so next up we got the Lions and the Ravens. Lions and Ravens. Who do you like on that one, Bobby?
I like Detroit. I think Detroit. I'm riding the Detroit train right now. 3 points. They're getting 3 points. Man, Detroit goes in and beats Baltimore. Baltimore does not impress me right now. They've got problems, and I don't think they fix it against that Detroit defense this week.
I'm actually on the opposite end with you, Bobby, and here's why. Because I kind of did a little deep dive into this game, and so on the East Coast this week, there's going to be some weather issues. So that's going to affect the passing game a lot. The Detroit Lions, they actually have any quarterback that gets an over-under on rushing a lot of times. You can a lot of times go with the over on that one. The style of defense they play, quarterbacks get the edges, and they hit that one off a lot. So that's why I like the Lamar Jackson kind of go crazy on that one. Odell Beckham's getting healthier and healthier, and their offensive line is healthy as it's been. So they're going to be able to protect the edges a little bit. So with that weather being in a factor, I like the Ravens to cover that 3 points at home. It obviously hit the money line, and I like the over at 42.5.
The over, okay.
The other factor in that game too, as well as David Montgomery's probably not going to be playing.
Yep.
Jahmyr Gibbs, who knows where he's going to be on that aspect. So from a running back standpoint, they're kind of hurting a little bit.
Which brings me to my fantasy player of the week, Khalif Raymond. It came out of Dan Campbell's own mouth. He said, we will look to the wide receivers as a running back this week. He's actually got 3 carries on the season for 54 yards and a touchdown.
That's a sneaky one. And that's one of those you win. If he has like a 120-yard game with a touchdown, that's the ones you kind of slide into daily fantasy top picks.
And he's got 14 receptions on the year, so he's catching like 2 balls.
Nice. So he'd be a weapon out of the backfield.
He is a play. Like Khalif Raymond, you'll get him for cheap.
Yeah, with inclement weather potentially there. I mean, at least windy weather.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like that. I like that one. All right. So what do we got next?
Okay, we've got Buffalo going into New England. And, okay, I've got 9 down. New England getting 9. So I think they cover. Buffalo, this is always a tough game. Buffalo, New England, always tough game.
Yeah, you know what? Right now, New England gives me no confidence whatsoever.
No, they don't, but neither does Buffalo. I mean, against the Giants.
And
they should have lost that game.
FanDuel has 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah, so DraftKings I know was 9. FanDuel has 8.5. So, but either way, 8.5 or 9, I'm still going to go with the Bills in that one just because there's nothing the Patriots have given me as far as hope-wise to say that they're going to be able to stay competitive in the game whatsoever. So I like the Bills to cover that. I like them also. I hit the money line, and I like the under in that one because, again, it's going to be an East Coast game, inclement weather, so there's not going to be a lot of airing out of the ball if the weather still holds up true to what the weather reports are. So at 48.5, I like the under on that one.
I like the under in that one as well. Buffalo to win the money, or on the money line. But give me the 9 points to that New England.
You like
I think
9,
New England
9
covers
points.
that one.
I need to see some life, man. I mean, I would not have ever thought I've seen a Belichick team, like recent history, looking the way these Patriots have looked right now. So we'll see.
Maybe it happens this week. Kendrick Bourne, he's the only person I could really find on the Patriots that's doing anything this year.
Yeah.
So Kendrick Bourne, if you have to get some money from this game, you know all of Buffalo's players. So Kendrick Bourne, he's cheap.
Yeah, Kendrick Bourne, that's about probably the only boy I'd go in that game there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 30 receptions on the year. He's not playing awful. It's just he's on an awful team.
Just whispers from the insider's track. They say he doesn't know much of the offense very much, and that's been kind of a hold-up a little bit. There's a lot of disconnect with him and Mac Jones, but again, that's just an insider track. Who knows? We're not in that locker room to see what happens week to week.
Right.
All right, so next up, what do we got here? I have the Browns and the Colts. Okay. Browns and the Colts. Yeah. All right, so that game is in Indianapolis. Who do you like in that game, Bobby?
I like the Browns to go into Indianapolis and cover that 2 points. When they really showed me something last week. You know, I was not sold on the Browns. You kept talking that defense up.
It's historic right now.
I realized that they were without Deebo Samuels and Christian McCaffrey, but the 49ers, they shut them down.
So it's a 3-point favorite for the Browns now?
It's 2. I've got 2.
Okay. So hey, we just got a recent update. It slid up to 3. Okay. Yeah, so recent update from Director Dave. It slid up to 3 there. So for me, I had it at 1.5 earlier in the day. You know what? Even as a home game, I kind of feel like this is one of those trap things because it's still the Browns. This is the thing that the Browns will do sometimes.
Right, yeah.
They come out, they beat the 49ers, but they still have these holes because they still have some holes in their offensive line, big holes in their offensive line. And sometimes styles win games, and Jim Schwartz has always had Kyle Shanahan's number. This game is in Indianapolis. Gardner Minshew played a horrible game against Jacksonville. I don't necessarily see that happening again. I kind of have my little sneaky upset on this one. I like the Colts. I like the Colts to win this game. I like it money line, and I like the over to hit 39.5. I like the over.
Well, we are in complete disagreement on this one, so one of us is coming out ahead. That's Minshew. You bring up Minshew. Yes, he did have a bad week last week, but if you're digging for a quarterback, maybe you lost Fields or you're worried about Lawrence not starting, grab Minshew. He's available in most leagues.
Minshew mania, baby.
He's a solid
Minshew mania. You never know he's going to go crazy. They don't have a lot of weapons there, but also, what are we going to see out of Jonathan Taylor? When is he going to make his appearance?
Well, he got the most rushes last week for the Colts.
Okay.
He outsnapped Zach Moss only by 1, but I think Taylor actually probably gets the.
They gave him a new contract. I think he's going to more and more, maybe sprinkle him in a little bit more this week in the offense. Kind of got his feet wet.
The Colts will be a different team when he gets back.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a shame what happened to Richardson.
Yeah, that was a shame, but, the young man's got to learn to protect the body.
Yes, he does.
That's just part of the NFL. Part of the NFL.
He's getting hurt every game.
They call it the men's league for a reason, man. It's a men's league for a reason. All right, so next up, we've got the Commanders and G-Men. Commanders and G-Men in New York.
Who do you like, Jason?
For me, I like, you know what? I like the G-Men on this one. I like the G-Men. They look good against the Bills.
Showed you something against the Bills.
They look good against the Bills. There's a couple snafus. Was that a little bit of a byproduct of Brian Daboll being familiar with the Bills or offense, all that whole nine? Maybe, maybe not, but this rivalry is always pretty close, back and forth. It's an inter-division rivalry.
Yep, it is.
So as far as Commanders-Giants, it's not a far trip. But either way, the Giants are home team, 2-point favorite. They kind of wants me to lean that way to going for the G-Man. Obviously hit the money line, and I like the over at 39.5.
Okay. We are in disagreement on this one as well. Give me them Redskins. I like the way the Redskins
The who?
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no. I don't know that team. Director Dave had to bury that team.
The Commanders, because that sounds so menacing. The Commanders. Give me the Commanders on the money line, the spread, and the under in that game.
All right.
Sam Howell's your quarterback pickup in this one. He's number 13 in half PPR leagues on the season. So if you need a quarterback, he's serviceable.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, so who do you have next on the slate, Bobby?
I've got the Raiders versus the Bears.
All right, I'm right with you there, brother. Raiders and Bears. Who do you like in that game?
I like the Raiders to go into Chicago this week and win this one. I mean, the Bears, if Fields is out, they've got no Herbert. They're just decimated right now.
The only excitement they garnered was when the big Dick Buckus died.
Right?
Because even before Fields went out, it was an unexpired looking team again. I was like, where'd they go? You're playing the Vikings. Where did they go? You got a chance to make a move, and they went nowhere on that. They went absolutely nowhere on that one. So I'm with you on that one. I like the Raiders. I like the money line for them to cover the 3 points.
I like the over in this one.
Yep, I'm with you on that one too. I think we're straight across the board on that one. I think that's a.
In this game, this one's going to surprise you. Jacoby Myers. If you can grab Jacoby Myers, he actually leads the Raiders in touchdowns this year. He has 4 to Devontae Adams 3. He's getting targeted about half the time, but they're looking for him because
he's a sneaky fantasy player.
Adams is just bottled up down the end zone.
Everybody knows he's the main thing that's going to make that thing go. If you stop him,
Jacoby Myers, he's getting a lot of targets this year.
That's kind of the byproduct how Antonio Brown was with Juju Smith-Schuster. Everybody thought all of a sudden he was going to be the next thing.
Juju was going to be the
guy. It's like, no, everybody's on Antonio Brown. Juju, you're wide open all game long. All game long. All right, so I like that one here. So we're getting close to the end of this slate here with all the buys this week.
Okay, I've got the next game at Atlanta at Tampa Bay.
All right.
Who do you like, Jason?
You know what? I like the Bucs to bounce back off of that last game they had. I like the Bucs to bounce back. They're at home. Atlanta, until they do something with Desmond Ridder, I'm sorry. Desmond Ridder, they got to play Heineke. They have to play Heineke. But until they make that change, I like the Bucs with this one to cover the 2.5 points is what I got through FanDuel. Mm-hmm. Obviously, them to hit the money line. And I like the over on that one at 38.5. Yeah, I like the over.
This is historically a low-scoring game. I looked it up.
Yeah.
So give me the under in this one at 38.5.
Okay.
38.5. So I see 20, 17, 18, 15, something like that.
You know what? I can see that, but what I also like too is because of how low scoring this week was and how that much they've kind of been pumping
it. Everybody.
There's a lot of overs that I do like this week just because of that reason. Because I see that kind of sliding that way a little bit. It's all a game. It's all a game. It's all a game.
Okay, your fantasy player of the week this week is Juno Smith. Surprisingly, this guy's been beasting at tight end this year.
Oh yeah.
And even though they've been throwing the ball to Pitts more the last 2 weeks, they've been setting him up in the wide receiver or slot position, and Juno's actually been playing your tight end position.
I think it's another Chuba Chuba thing. I think it's Janu.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think it's a Janu. Okay. I think it's a Janu. I think it's another Chuba Chuba.
Give me Janu Smith.
Yeah, that's right. I was lost there for a second, but I know Janu Smith. I don't know.
Is there another Juno Smith?
I don't know a Juno Smith. I know Janu.
Okay.
I know Janu.
Janu Smith. Sorry about that.
But I like that. I said that is a good pick, though. I do like that. It's a very good play. Very good play. All right, so next up, we've got the Rams and the Steelers in Los Angeles. Rams and Steelers. Steelers come off a bye right there.
They are. I wish I would have looked that one up today, but I did not. I'd be interested to see what Tomlin's record is coming off the bye.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If I would take my guess, I would guarantee it's probably a pretty good record coming off the bye. But the problem is they are traveling out there to Los Angeles.
All the way out to LA.
And they are a very offensively deficient team.
Yes, they
Unless they do something to change that, that's going to be tough. So unless they hold that Rams offense, and Cooper Kupp is back. Cooper Kupp is back. Oh, my gosh.
Puka Nakua.
I mean, and everybody all instantly forgot about him. And Super Cooper Kupp came back. And what did he have, like 11 catches last week?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, just ridiculous. So for me, who do you like in that one, Bobby?
I like the Rams to cover, win at home. Give me the under in that one because, like you said, I've got no faith in Pittsburgh doing anything. I was looking at Pittsburgh's stats today. Waddle is actually not only their their leading rusher, he's their second leading receiver.
Oh yeah. See, that's gonna be that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. So for me, I think we're in agreement on that one. The same way, I like the Rams to cover 3 points, hit the money line at home, obviously, and then the under at 43.5. All right.
Your fantasy play, the Rams defense. The Rams defense is sneaky this year. There's still they're available in a lot of leagues, over 50% that I've seen.
Yeah.
So if you can pick up the Rams defense, I think you can actually have a pretty good week against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the only way I see them making a change is if Jalen Warren is going to be that sneaky, he's that sneaky because Najee Harris, he's a good back in the short yardage situation, but he doesn't have that burst. It's almost like a Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard situation from last year, essentially, like in that aspect. So, I mean, I like that play as far as I think we're in total agreement on that game there. All right, so next up we've got the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Cardinals and Seahawks. Who do you like, Bobby?
I like the Seahawks. They're going to get this one done at home. They cover that 7.5 points. Win. Give me the under in this one as well. Yeah, because it's at 45. I can't believe it's that high, to tell you the truth.
Okay. See, I think we're in a disagreement on this one a little bit.
Okay.
Only because it's an interdivision rivalry.
It is.
And so I like that. So I have them at 7.5 through FanDuel. I like the Cardinals to cover that 7.5. I do like the Seahawks to win. They're at home. I do like them to win that game. I just don't see them blowing them out in that game, being an interdivision game. And I like the over on that one, 44.5. I do. I like the over just because I can see that it seems like one of those games. So like Cardinals and Seahawks, you're going to see a defensive touchdown, special team touchdown, something of that nature.
To win this one, the Cardinals are gonna have to throw it because Connor's out. I don't know who their other running backs is. Don't say DiCardo or DeMarcado because he did nothing last week.
Yeah, I mean,
your number 2 and 3 rushers on that team are Dobbs and a wide receiver Rondell Moore.
Oh yeah,
without Connor, they're
going to be tough. It's going to definitely be tough, but we'll see. I mean, I like Dobbs. You can see some big plays happening as far as from a defensive, offensive, special team aspect. So you never know.
Dobbs has surprised this year. He really has.
Yeah, he's played solid. I mean, and they played hard. But everybody's auditioning for future jobs. So I mean, that's the thing. People always got to remember, NFL is still a job, and these guys don't want to be unemployed. They don't want to be selling insurance. All right, so next up, we've got the Chargers and the Chiefs. Chargers and Chiefs.
All right.
In Kansas City.
This is another one, like, as little faith as I have in Staley, because he's just a bad coach.
Yeah,
he really is.
He is. I mean, this is the epitome of why some people are good coordinators and other people should be head coaches.
But he seems to dial up his best game plans against the Chiefs.
He does.
I like the Chargers to they're getting 5.5. I think they cover. Kansas City obviously wins, and give me the over.
Okay. All right. So, you know what? Despite everything that has happened with Brandon Staley and how I feel about this game, this just is one of those games where the Chargers they entice you a little bit. And they say, oh, man, you know what? They are in this. They are contenders. So I actually have the Chargers covered. I had 5.5 through DraftKings. Through FanDuel, I'm sorry. But then I also have them. I want them to actually win this game and cover the money line. And I like the under on this one. I like the under is 48.5 points. The only reason why I say the under, Derwin James can take Travis Kelce out of the game because he's actually a safety that can cover him. There's no receivers in the game that scare me from the Kansas City Chiefs standpoint. And unless they commit to the running game, which Andy Reid sometimes has a hard time doing, I can see the Chargers actually pulling this game out in Kansas City, giving everybody saying, oh my gosh, the Chargers still have a chance.
Right.
That's kind of how I'm leaning on that game there.
Okay. I could see that easily happening, too. You're right. Rashee Rice this week. One of the Kansas City wide receivers has to step up.
Somebody has to.
It's going to be Rice. It's going to be Rice this week. If you can I think he's available in every league that I've seen. Nobody has a Kansas City wide receiver on their team at this point.
I just cut Scott Moore. I got him off my team. I was like, you got to go, dude. You got to go. And for me, I see them actually being somebody at the trade deadline, trying to go for some receiver that's some receiver that's not being useful to even bringing McCole Hardman back from the Jets because he's not doing anything in their line.
Julio signed with the Eagles. I mean, you don't think he has anything left in the tank.
Julio was done 2 years ago, man. I mean, I love Julio Jones. He was done 2 years ago. All right, so next up we've got here. Who did you get a fantasy pick for that game? You said Rashee Rice?
Yeah, Rashee Rice.
Rashee Rice. All right, so next up we got the Packers and Broncos. All
right, I think Denver gets it done at home this week. I think they get it done. They're getting a point. They're at home, so obviously Vegas has no faith in them, but I do. So give me Denver to win at home and the under at 45.
See, I like the Packers coming off the bye here. They came off the bye this week as well, and there's going to be a fresher Aaron Jones with the fresh legs there. That's the one thing that offense has been missing. So I have them actually at 1.5 with FanDuel. So I actually want to see the Packers actually cover that, hit the money line, and I like the under at 45.
I want Aaron Jones to do well. He's been sitting on my bench all year, but he's probably blow a quad this time or something. I don't know. He's always hurt.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you know what? But I think he's got fresh legs now.
He is a beast.
Like that was an early morning. I mean, early season hamstring injuries that happes. I mean, early season hamstring. I mean, he had a couple weeks arrested off. They sat him the week before.
Well, that's what I've written down here. Aaron Jones is back.
Yes, he is back, and so that's going to be the difference maker, I think, in that game.
Okay.
All right, so we got 2 games late on the slate. We got Sunday night. We got the prime time.
This is a fun game.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. This was a great choice by the NFL. This is why NFL is king because this was a great choice for a Sunday night game here. All right, so we got the Dolphins and the Eagles in Philadelphia with the Philadelphia Phillies going nuts up there right now. So that city's going to be buzzing, baby.
It is. But Philly, I don't know. They're in the Super Bowl funk. I mean, I know they're 5-1. They just don't look the same, though.
They had some injuries last week. They lost. They had Jalen Carter out and Darius Slay. That's why I actually had the Jets covering that game because I had a feeling that it was just going to be a kind of a tough role for them. And the Jets actually pulled the whole victory out.
Well, I mean, Sirianni kind of handed it to him.
Yeah.
What are you doing running or throwing the ball right there?
Yeah, run,
kick it. Leave it up to your defense.
You know what? But if
Zach Wilson beat you.
You know what? But if it works, you're a genius.
Yeah.
If it works, you're a genius.
Yeah, but make Zach Wilson.
Oh yeah, I mean you have to. But I mean, you know what? He's actually shown he's been solid. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks actually been playing worse than Zach Wilson the last few weeks. Definitely. So who do you like in this game?
I like Miami to actually win this one in Philadelphia.
Okay. You know what? So I was leaning that way early on, but as I kind of started looking into it a little bit more, because this is going to probably be one of my Smokin Token hot primetime picks this week. So what I'm actually looking at here, the line in the middle rush for the Eagles, Jalen Carter is going to be back. Okay. Tua has not faced a lot of in-his-face presence up the middle. Hasn't. I think they're going to get a lot of push up the middle on them. They could actually run the ball to keep Miami's defense offense off the field, because that's how they've actually been hiding their defense, because their offense has been so explosive, scoring so many points, it's actually protected their defense a lot. Kind of like the greatest show in terms of they're getting compared to. Would not have the greatest defenses, but didn't have to play a lot of great extenuating long drives and being on the field for a long period of time because their offense was so explosive. So you just pin your ears back and go. So for me, I actually like the Eagles to win this in Philadelphia. Okay. I like the Eagles to win this. I obviously hit the money line, and I do like the over at 51.5 because once again, remember, this is an East Coast game. That weather and that wind may play a factor depending on where we're at on Sunday.
I like the over as well. 50. I've got 52, but I think they hit. This is going to be an exciting game.
I think it's going to be definitely an exciting game. So that's going to be it. So for all you betting for those East Coast games, keep that in mind. That win's going to be a factor as of right now on Sunday, especially a Sunday night game. That Sunday night win is going to definitely be a factor. All right, who do you like fantasy-wise in this one, Bobby? A lot of options.
I was going to talk about Julio Jones in this one, signing with the Eagles. Like you said, you don't think he has much left in the tank.
No, he won't do anything for weeks.
No, I mean, he's definitely not coming in. Mostert definitely established himself as the number one running back.
11 TDs,
man.
11 TDs.
Everybody was so quick to pick up Ahmed last week. That wasn't happening.
No, he's 11 TDs.
Mostert's just a beast. You could probably pick up Waddle for really cheap because it's been the Tyreek Hill show.
Far this year. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I like either one of those options out there. Mostert, Tyreek Hill. I mean, even got a little sneaky pick. This might be a Devin Smith week this well with the Eagles.
A Devontae Parker.
Oh yeah,
with the Dolphins slot receiver.
Oh no, not that Parker. Parker's with the Patriots.
No, Parker's.
Oh, wait, slot receiver with the...
It could be a different Parker.
Oh, it might be a new Devontae Parker reincarnated?
There is a Parker.
Devontae Parker
slot receiver for the Dolphins.
Yeah, he might be a Devontae Parker reincarnated.
Because he blew up, 2 weeks ago when they had that monster game.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
No, you know what? I had to look that one up.
Yeah, I had to look that one up too because man, that's news to me. I thought that was the one that was with the Patriots now.
No, it's a different one.
All right. Well, we got one more game on the slate here. One more game. So we got the Niners and Vikings Monday night. Niners and Vikings. Those lowly Vikings. But you know what? They're trying to keep their way back in there.
They're trying. That's why I've got them covering the 6.5 here at home. But I still think the 49ers win this game.
All right, so you got them at 7. I mean, I got them at 7. Okay, I got them at 7. FanDuel has them at 7. I like the Niners to actually cover the 7, hit the money line. Coming off that bad win against the Browns, they're going to be in kind of a nasty mood after that. The Niners haven't been in a nasty mood in a while.
McCaffrey did get some good news this week. I mean, but he might not play, and they're obviously a different offense without him.
Yeah, it's definitely a different offense without him. And I like the under on that game for 44. I like the under at 44 on that one.
All right, well, we agree that the 49ers are going to win.
Yeah, we agree the 49ers are going to win. That's about all we got on that one. All right.
Your fantasy that week, if McCaffrey does happen to sit this week, you've got Mason or Mitchell. Don't tell me. I can't tell you which one to pick up because I don't have Kyle Shanahan's number.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one because there's going to be a lot of questions on that one. Debo's going to be out this week too as well, so there's going to be some different things the 49ers are going to be doing. But, I mean, they got the extra night of rest with the Monday night game coming up.
They do.
All right, that's the full slate of
that is the full slate.
Was that week 7? Week 7, Bobby. It's been a beautiful season so far. It's been a great time coming and riding with you guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe. We'll keep this thing rolling for you. Make sure you subscribe to Bets and Buds. I'm Jason Smokin Token.
You got your, you want to throw out your...
Oh, yeah. We cannot go away without that. That was the whole reason why we started this week off, to break the curse. We had to get our little Smokin Token parlay picks here this week. And so this week I've got you coming with the Giants money line, Raiders money line, Bills hitting the money line, Ravens money line, Seahawks money line, and Niners money line. That's a 6-leg parlay. 6-leg parlay at $11.26. So $11.26, $100 pays out $11.26. That's the one I got riding with it. That's why we had the thing blighting up for you just to break that curse this week. What do you got for us, Bobby?
Okay, he's got a 6. I got a 3-leg parlay for you. I've got 2 home teams and an away team. The Detroit Lions going away and winning that one in Baltimore. Give me the Rams at home. Give me Denver at home as the underdog. 745 for the 3-team parlay.
Nice. I like that. I like that one a lot. All right. So is there any other business housekeeping we got to do out there?
I don't think so. I'm going to look up that one stat, though. Parker.
All right. But yeah, we'll catch up with you guys. We appreciate you tuning in with us this week. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Peace.